Yo, what's up, my peeps? We are back with another episode. We are here with the Live, Love, Lift podcast. I'm your host and owner of Aion Training, Marks McDuffie, joined by my co-host Sean. What's up, Sean?
How you doing, man?
So, Sean, this episode is inspired by you. I know this is something that we've talked about for a while. That you were excited to kind of put into play this month at the studio, and it's getting tracking onto our workout app and allowing people to track their weight. So, I think for us, we understand the deep, deep value of that and how powerful of a thing that is. But just to share with the members and some of the other people listening, just why that thing is important and how they can kind of start to implement that and use that as a powerful strategy in their fitness journey.
Yeah, I really akin tracking in the gym to journaling in life. I think that they're really one and the same. And the parallels they have to each other are, pretty neat. That's to say, there are a lot of people who are living successful lives who aren't currently journaling, right? Or having time every day to like write down every thought. And that's not to say that tracking needs to be every single, like, I was this angle when I did this thing. But I think for me personally in my journey, and one of the things I love working and seeing with clients is how they can use tracking to kind of break through plateaus first and foremost, and then also really be able to look back and have
Wait,
a kind
I'm
of
so
bird's eye
sorry.
view.
Three, two, one, and all right, go ahead.
Beautiful. Yeah. So, I think the big thing that I like to kind of make the correlation to with tracking specifically in the gym is really looking at it as almost a form of journaling in your personal life. And I think, again, the thing that I love about our studio is fitness can seem really complex and unapproachable at times. And it really helps to kind of break things down and just see, X to Y, like, why is this thing relatable to me? How will it help me? And why should I care? And I think that's one of the things that I love about coaching in our studio is, Marcus, you and I understand the reason why tracking is so important for progress, right? But for somebody who has maybe a health goal or like not a targeted, like, I want to press this amount of weight in this amount of time, it's like, why should I care about this? And I think oftentimes that is a really easy way to get turned off from something, to have a negative connotation, and also just not to see value in it. And I think the thing that I'm really excited about this next month with instituting this in for our members in a really regimented way is to see that tracking has different utility and benefit at every level of your goal, right? If your goal is to get specifically stronger in one area, tracking comes into play by helping you really understand where you need to add. If you have a health goal, it's really good to see, hey, how is my body responding to this? How are my stress levels or my sleep levels translating? And I love this one, how is my eating relating to my output in the gym? Right. Again, I think for us, what I've been so excited to work with clients who have kind of started to adopt some more, regimented tracking is plateau prevention. So being able to break through plateaus when you just feel like, hey, I've been doing the same thing for the longest time, which I don't know about you, that drives me up a wall, right? If I'm doing the same thing all the time, I'm never changing it, I'm never challenging myself, I think intrinsically motivation just drops, And so tracking really helps you prevent that loss, and it really kind of emboldens and enlivens every session that you get to do because you're almost playing a game within a game. Like the goal is to show up to the gym, do some sort of weightlifting, have fun with that. And then within that, it's like, now I get to challenge myself as well. The second part I think that is super important with tracking that I love talking about with our members is progress measurement and really looking at, I started here and I'm here. And sometimes, you can't see the difference because it might just be a really small difference or it might be a really big difference. And I think we're very much conditioned to always look ahead and kind of look at our current state and not look at where we've come from. I think that's a hard thing to do sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that I, again, really love about tracking is it looks at your journey in a very objective fashion. And what I mean by that is it doesn't take into account emotion. It doesn't take into account how strong you think you are or how strong you feel, or if, well, I've never lifted a 15, so I can't do it. Tracking tells you pretty empirically in a very black or white fashion that yes, you can.
Yeah.
And you should do it. So I think, we just wrapped up for us our culmination week, which we do every month, which is so fun, where we end the month and see, hey, where did I start? Where did I finish? So looking at progress measurement. And I think the last piece here is accountability. If you have seen that you've been doing the same thing for the same amount of time and there's no uptick or progression, it's a really
Yeah.
clear, again, objective way to tell yourself, like, hey, I need to dial things up or dial things down, you know? Now, at the same point, if you've been one place and you start to dip in strength, it's a really good way, accountability wise, to look at, hey, is the lifestyle I'm living in pursuit of my kind of fitness performance goals?
Yeah.
Right. And again, I always talk about this, and this is the way that, again, tracking becomes for everybody. It becomes for people who want to sleep better, eat better. It becomes, for people who just want to show up more consistently to the gym, because the numbers, again, at the end of the day, do not lie. They just tell you the truth. And I was talking to a member today who's like, I've been tracking through the month, and I've noticed that I've actually dipped a little bit in, one area that I was making progress. And the immediate question I asked is, how's sleeping? Well, I've been sleeping way less in the last 2 weeks. I haven't been prioritizing. How's nutrition been?
Yeah.
Oh, well, honestly, I've been off my nutritional plan. And in a really big way, I was able to just point at a number and say, what do you think? Let's draw the correlation between those two pieces, right? So, I think for us, the last piece I love is, as somebody who is on their fitness journey, one of the things I love about our studio is that I really feel like the coaches and the community we have fosters a sense of independence. It's not just a, here's my issue, take it, I don't want to deal with it. It's, a very collaborative experience where it's teaching you how to better understand how your body works, and also giving you lasting strategies so that you can pursue, habitual consistency and lifelong strength. So tracking is just another level of you taking ownership of your own journey. It allows you to come into the studio and be like, this is where I'm at. This is where I want to be. This is what I'm doing today, in a big way. And I think more so than anything, it really allows you to hold yourself accountable to goals. If you have a goal to get stronger and you're not tracking that, how do you know that you're getting stronger beyond just the emotion of feeling it?
Yeah, I think that's, there's a lot of good points in there because it's so funny. Like we'll talk to people that are newer to like the fitness space or to working out, especially resistance training.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them have gone through experiences where they go to a boot camp and, they just grab like the tens and they just do the tens week after week after week after week after week. And they're
Mm-hmm.
not making that much progress anymore, right? And I think even, we've had members that, they're newer to strength and it can be like a scarier thing, but it really
Yeah.
is like, when we look at how do we, the overall goal of how do I make you a smarter, more confident and safer lifter? And it's
Mm-hmm.
teaching you things like this because it is the ability to go, okay, hey, like, I'm not getting stronger. What's going on? And arming people with those questions to ask themselves so they have more information. Where
Right.
otherwise it's like, oh, okay, I wouldn't even paid attention to this thing. But like your
Mm-hmm.
strength really is like it's a lag factor where it's like there's other things that contribute to it, but it really
Yeah.
can tell you a lot. And I think the other part of that is for people who do hit plateaus, it's another really great way to go, hey, you said you're plateauing. Okay, cool. Well, you've been doing the 15s every single week for the last 3 months. Your body
Yep.
isn't going to change unless it has to. Your body's already adapted to doing the 15s. So unless
Right.
you go to the 20s or add some more reps, your body isn't going to change. And I think that's a very powerful thing to be able to talk to someone and walk them through. But I think that other part you mentioned too on progress, like for myself as like a very hard on myself, go, go, go guy,
Yeah.
that whole idea like the gap in the gain, where if I only look at myself today, I'll be real, a lot of times I'm only thinking about how much further I have to go, and that can be exhausting, just that thought itself. But it's really cool when I look back at weights I was doing in the past, or even just like things in my life that I was struggling with. You ever read like an old journal entry from like 3 years ago, and you're
Yes. Yeah.
like, oh shit, I forgot about that. Like, oh wow, I've come so far. It's a really empowering thing. So I think that's another big piece of tracking and why I'm excited to kind of, add that in and teach that to people. But I'll even say for me too, a last little piece I thought of while you were talking is tracking has helped transform a lot of exercises that I hated
Yeah.
into ones where I'm like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
Like there's this one little side plank exercise I can't stand. And I used to only be able to do like 20 seconds. And I got up to a minute after like a year of doing it. And I
Yeah.
was so fucking hyped. And now I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, now I gotta see what's next. So I think it is such a cool piece. And I'm excited to kind of share that with the members as well. And and
Yeah.
teach them just like everything that could come from this. If it doesn't, if it, especially when the only tracking for a lot of people is the weight scale and maybe macros, and it's like these things can be very scary for a lot of people, very uncomfortable. So it'd be cool to show people new ways to get that information about themselves too.
Right. And I think the last piece of this is, as we go into this denser kind of holiday season, right? Looking for small ways to institute small changes that have big impacts. How easy is it at the end of your workout to just jot it down? If you're a member with us, congratulations. It's in the app. We make it easy on you. You know what I mean? Steal the tagline. But, if you're not and you're interested in this, just a small journal entry, writing it down on paper, doing it in your phone, your notes app. And again, just a really small way to hold yourself accountable, because if you look back and all of a sudden, man, the last time I tracked my weight was 2 months ago, does that mean I haven't worked out for 2 months? It happens fast.
Yeah.
It happens so fast. And it's just, again, a very objective way to see, am I following through on the promise that I made to myself pertaining to the goals I have with my health and fitness? Yes or no?
Yeah.
And I think anytime we can put it into a yes or no bucket, with accountability, with consistency, it takes a lot of the guesswork out.
It really can be a humbling thing to look back and go, oh wow, last time I checked in on this thing was 2 months, right? And
Yeah.
sometimes people need a wake up call that
Totally.
otherwise, they wouldn't have gotten, and it changes people's lives. So, well, for everyone listening that is a current member, get ready. And it's cool for us as well to have that information as coaches so we can better coach you up and understand you as well. So excited to launch that here in November. If you're not a current member and you are looking to start your fitness journey, but you don't want to, you're kind of in that space of, hey, like I want to get stronger, but one, I don't want to do the wrong thing and get hurt. And two, I don't want to do the wrong thing and waste my time doing the wrong thing. Then hey, click the link below. Check us out at aiontraining.com. And we hope to see you soon. If you have any questions or you want to submit a little thing that you want us to cover in a podcast in the future, feel free to shoot us a text or email as well too. So we're out and we'll see you next week.